Hi, everybody. It's Thursday, June 26, 2014, and you are Nerds on the Couch live. You can catch our news, podcast, all informations on nerdsonthecouch.com and also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoac. There's a couple of things coming up this week that we got to mention. First thing off the bat, one of the biggest news things that happened today was, or again, a couple of days ago, was the release of apparently the final Ninja Turtles trailer. And if you haven't seen it, again, you can catch it on our website. You can go YouTube. It's pretty much all over Facebook right now. And I gotta say, this trailer actually make the movie look good.
Yeah, it actually sparked my interest in actually watching it and thinking, oh my God, this is a total rape of my childhood, and maybe it's redeeming some of its qualities, but we have to see what happens. I mean, now I have to, it makes me actually look forward to forking over the dough to go ahead and actually watch this movie.
You know what? I'm gonna bring it up again because I always bring it up. The trailer to Dragon Ball Z Evolution looked great too. I thought, oh, no,
No,
they did a good trailer. They made it look interesting. No, you know, I mean, my biggest
no,
problem with the whole thing is Shredder. I mean, they're not even ninjas anymore, man. He's a robot basically. He's an Iron Man. Let's just say that he's Iron Shredder.
well,
Yeah.
that's actually a good analogy because well, first of all, let me say, Um, no, man, that's your opinion on the Dragon Ball Z trailer. Okay, that's you. Okay, I have the completely opposite. It never looked good. But
Yeah.
I saw the toys up close now. They're starting to hit Walmart in truckloads and also in Target too. So you can find the turtle toys there. And I picked up the Shredder and I was like looking at him up close and um, the in the trailer that we see, it looks some cool parts. He's all shredded. I mean, shredder with the blades and all that. I love the scene where he waves his arm and you see all the swords flying back to his wrist.
Yeah, but my original thoughts on Shredder. Shredder himself only had one part of his body that was actually burned and scarred, and that was his face. And Shredder wasn't a badass because of technology. He was never a badass because of that. He was just one of those guys that knew how to mess you up no matter what, and he was that good, and he could prove it. He actually moved fast and actually can, really, really mess around with people, just break bones, do everything. I mean, even in the new series that they have with the CGI, I mean, you even see the Shredder's hand go from a fist to a half fist, even to this number, and he just does that in just one after another succession and kicking butt. I mean, he's just one of those guys that can just kill people and not even think about it. And now you have a robot basically being able to do it, and that's where I have a little bit of issue with it. It looks cool, I like it, but it also brings up to mind of the let me see, Silver Samurai from let me see, Wolverine, the
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Well, let me,
Little.
one thing that struck me, like I said, I was looking at the toy, and he had, I don't want to, it's a suit because there's a human underneath.
Hmm.
If you look at the toy, you see, and you see kind of gears, and I guess it's like robotic. I don't want to say cybernetic because that means it's attachment, but he has robotic enhancements to do it. And the way the trailer shows is that it shows like there's advanced technology going on here. There's like something happening. And the one thing, again, I haven't seen this movie, so I'm not saying it's a spoiler or anything, but I'm starting to hear buzz that there's the Krang
Mm.
in this. And if that's robotic and that's all that, it's starting to make sense.
Yeah. Well, also with the fact that if you have the Krang in this movie, it's going to be the first Ninja Turtle movie to ever have the Krang as an active character. I mean, they haven't had the Krang in any of the movies. I mean, there was only in the TV series. It was in the original TV series, and then in this new series, and that's the only time I've seen Krang. I haven't seen the other ones, unfortunately. Bad, bad me. But But the things about getting the Krang in there and actually adding some technology actually does make sense. You're actually absolutely right. But I don't know what angle they're going to take it from. That the Shredder is getting technology from the Krang, which does happen in the TV series where he starts getting his foot robots and everything. Even the news TV series, which started giving the Turtles a lot more trouble. But we have to see what happens. I have to watch the movie.
Well, my biggest problem with it is really, I mean, can you really call them ninjas? I mean, in the trailer, it's terrible. I mean, they're in the roof. Yeah, we got away with it. Oh, they took our picture. Come on, that was bad.
Well, that's where the teenage, mutant ninja turtle stuff has to come in. I mean, you gotta, if you went the way you're saying, then it would be all serious, deadly. They would just kill everything, which I know you're ready to go, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you got to think of the kids, man. It's Nickelodeon. You don't just see the big Nickelodeon thing in the beginning?
I
Okay, if
melt
we're
into the
gonna really be
shadows.
serious about this movie, they should take away the ninja thing, okay? They should just call it Teenage Mutant Turtles. That's it. Don't really throw in the ninja thing if they're not ninjas. They're really not ninjas. I don't see any ninja anything in the trailer. I mean, you might disagree, but I don't. I see a bunch of mutants beating up robots, basically. That's what I see. I don't see ninja anything. Even the Shredder, who's supposed to be a master ninja, isn't a ninja anymore, man. He's a dude in a, Iron Shredder suit.
Well, dude, the idea of a ninja is not even real. What we think ninjas are.
Hmm.
I mean, we all looked at that martial arts documentary, remember, where they talked about what real ninjas are and all that. So, and each one, when I see each of the turtles now, each one has their own personality. They have their own style in their own costume too. I mean, Leonardo looks more samurai
Hmm.
than the other ones. I mean, Raphael looks like a bruiser. I don't want to talk about Donatello with those nerd glasses. Oh,
Yeah,
that's irritating.
that is irritating. I mean, it's just one of those things. But he also has the Ghostbuster goggles on him. I don't know about that.
Well, see, that's what I mean. I mean, to me, it's a great movie. I think it's going to be a great sci-fi movie. It's just really, the ninja thing is just tacked on. There really is not going to be any like ninja anything. I mean, the reason they're so good isn't because they're ninjas. It's because they're mutants. That's where the focus is at. They're mutants. And like you
Well,
said,
there
it's going to
is.
be a technologically heavy movie.
Well, it is martial arts. I mean, it is what you expect the turtles to be. I mean, they're fun-loving, and you see them high-fiving, and you see them joking around, and all, which is something that you expect. You expect that, humor in it. They're not. It looks dark, and parts of it. Here's the thing I like is that it does seem to have darker elements than what we're used to. Considering that you see the dark moments with the Shredder, you see Splinter, who I was joking around. I'm comparing him now to the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. That's what he looks like to me now. It
Just
looks
as
like
long as he doesn't end up being a washed out actor, man. As long as that doesn't
lesson
happen.
one, Ninja Turtles. I am your teacher.
And there's several different ways it can go for it. I mean, I brought this up to you earlier. As long as they don't do where you had the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the movies back in the 80s, where they had Splinter actually learning martial arts by watching his master, his owner, being a pet. And if he starts out being human turned into rat, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Well, that's Jim Henson's. You can tell right away that was Jim
Yeah.
Henson's touch. But I gotta say, looking at it, um, I do see, the martial arts. I do think this movie's going to be big. I do think it's going to be big because there was a lot of negative buzz around it. But now watching this trailer and all that, I gotta say, it doesn't look that bad. I still have the issues with the way the turtles are designed. I still have the issues um, with a couple of things. I don't like the mocap suits. It looks like they've been improving the CGI
Yeah.
out of it. Considering hearing them talk now.
Yeah. Actually, I got a question for you. What do you think of the fact that that basically the director Michael Bay makes fun of the joke? Basically, so what are you saying? Are these guys aliens? No, they're not aliens. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
And and it's totally true. Do you think he actually listened to the fans on that, or what do you think that is?
I do think it's kind of a joke at the fans' expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it probably is aliens. That's what he's going to pull on us.
Uh, that'd be
Well,
horrible.
here's the thing. I expect that we are going to see the Krang. We are going to see aliens. I do suspect there's more going on here. And the other one I wanted to bring up, I was trying to remember his name. It keeps listing William Fichtner as the Shredder.
Hmm.
But yet in the trailer, remember, you see him talking to another guy who's like tall, and you
Yeah.
kind of get the impression maybe that's the Shredder.
Maybe he built the shredder. Maybe he's or helped make a better suit because he even says, "I was thinking about some improvements on your armor."
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, again, the foot soldiers don't look like ninjas. They're not, they're dressed, they look like terrorists.
Hmm.
They're wearing the ski masks, they're holding AK-47s. You see that scene where they're holding people at the subway hostage. And again, in lightning and in the darkness and all that, you see the Ninja Turtles taking out the Foot Clan. So, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe this is a little more different. Instead of maybe them being like an ancient martial arts thing and all that, it could be that this is a terrorist group.
A new thing. Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. There's some kind of mystique with having the Foot Clan. The Foot Clan was there, and they've been there since ancient times. They've done so many different things for emperors, leaders, everything. And just having that removed, I don't think I like that. I want my Foot Clan being mysterious and ancient.
Well, and also got to point out that we haven't seen her, but she's listed on the roster. We have Karai.
Yes, Amato Yoshi's daughter.
Yeah. So, whoa there, I mean, I'm glad that they're actually taking notes and storyline and they're following through. So, I got to say, this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But Karai, I'll like Karai if they make her a ninja and not put her in a robot suit too. You know what I mean? If they do that, then oh well.
There's only one way to find out. And of course, no matter
Yeah.
what, we were going to go ahead and take my money. Here we go.
We're going to be in line to see it. And just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, once this comes out, we will be reviewing it, and you will be hearing it from us, and we'll promise to give you the straight answers on this movie. So again, if it's an utter disappointment, then we're going to tell you it's an utter disappointment. But I got to say, my opinion has changed. I got to say, from the trailers, I am looking forward to seeing this.
I have to say I'm interested in seeing it, but I'm still being pessimistic because of the fact that everything that has been sweet and good in my childhood has been raped. Um, so we'll have to see what happens with this. I have to wait.
Well, we got the Gem movie coming up, so don't talk
Oh,
about rape yet.
oh my God.
Okay. Before we get to that, a couple of things. San Diego Comic-Con is coming. And of course, our news correspondent, Kelly Edmonds, will be there to give you the straight news on everything happening at the San Diego Comic-Con. She's going to be there. We're going to talk to her live Thursday, straight from San Diego Comic-Con. But a couple of things they announced on the Marvel movie fronts. Like, we know right now that they're filming Avengers 2. We've been seeing pictures and sets, and we're starting to see the whole cast and costumes. We're all excited about that. They officially announced that the entire cast is going to San Diego Comic-Con. So that alone is going to be cool, and they're going to be showing footage now of Avengers 2 there. So hopefully we can sneak some in, or Kelly can live shoot.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We just don't want to get kicked out.
Don't call her. We'll get back to her next week. You know what? They're gonna need more chairs. That's for sure. They're gonna need more chairs.
You know what? I remember Hall H. Hall H is massive. Now, the thing is, they've never had problems filling Hall H. I mean, no matter how many chairs they stick in there, it was still full, and it's always been standing room only. Um, so you got to see what happens with that.
Well, when you have the entire cast, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. alone will fill up Hall H.
Oh
So if
God,
you have the
yes.
entire cast of the Avengers there, come on, that's going to be intense. And you know, Stan Lee will probably be there, and
Uh,
Josh Whedon's going to be there apologizing for Firefly. And
you know what? I was
uh,
actually watching something about that today. That's funny that you mention it. Uh,
well,
but
say it.
anyway.
You got our listeners here. Well,
Well, yeah, because he was always apologizing. He had talked about the fighting for Firefly and everything, and he was talking about doing always the unexpected, especially when he killed Wash. And I wonder if he's going to say anything about that.
well, Coulson lives, so
Yeah,
we
that's
got.
unexpected.
Oh, we
Uh,
could t-shirt. Wash lives. We gotta bring that back up.
Oh my God, yes.
We still need to
okay.
start the movement.
Well, when we talk about this,
Wash lives.
another one that they've been, or again, he's been talking a lot. Is Mark Ruffalo,
Yeah,
and he's been saying, the Hulk is going to have a presence in the Avengers, of course, because the last movie he really stood out in it,
yeah.
and now he's been talking about his own movie, and so there's still buzz going around for a Hulk movie. The other ones, I don't want to say they haven't been successful, but they've kind of been ranked the least. So is there still hope for a Hulk movie here?
Mm,
You
you
know,
know,
it entirely kind of depends on how well he does in Avengers 2. Because if he steals the show again in Avengers 2, yeah, I would say more than likely they probably will greenlight it. Because there will be an interest. It'll generate an interest in it.
Yeah, because you got to look at the Hulk. You know what? The Hulk is more than just some guy smashing up buildings. He actually has a lot more personality. I mean, point blank, Hulk smash is just part of the personality. And what I liked out of the Avengers TV series, my favorite scene with the Hulk ever was Hulk just sitting there having dinner, just eating whatever, and then you have Tony Stark looking at some chart full of waves and everything. Hulk looks at it and is like, oh, gamma ray pulse generation, probably made by something else. And and Tony Stark looks at him like, what? It's just interesting that even though the Hulk is Hulk at that point, he's still got the mind of the man.
Well, I was thinking about it, and you did point that out. And I was thinking about that version of Hulk, and then I was thinking of the other one, which is Hulk: The Agents of Smash. I call it Agents of Suck, but
Yeah,
you know, oh, that's an awful show.
I don't
But
watch it.
yeah, but the other thing I was thinking, it might be time for the Hulk to evolve.
Hmm.
We've seen it in the comic books. He went from the green to the gray to the different personality. I don't even know how he is right now.
Well, you
But
know what? What would? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, no, I mean, I was just going to say the point that in the comic books there was so many different versions of the Hulk. War Hulk is one, and all that other ones. It might be time to start seeing those different versions in film.
Hmm.
You know what would steal the show? I mean, seriously, if they did do a Hulk movie, if they added the presence of the Red Hulk, damn, you know what I mean?
Oh God,
That
yeah.
would be a game changer. You know what I mean? That would kind of set all kind of things going. You know what I mean? That would
It
be
would,
really interesting.
it would be good, but they have to have General Ross in there for a while.
Yeah, because you got to establish him as a character. You got to establish his personality. I mean, the warmonger, the guy who wants actual power.
Yeah, but
And
again, it's Marvel movies. They can finagle whatever they want. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be General Ross again. You know what I mean? You
No,
can't
but
never know.
they're pretty loyal to the comic books. I mean, Marvel. Well, again, Marvel Comics has a voice in the movies. I mean, we can't say that, oh, they're going off the reservation. No, no, because it's Marvel Comics who
Yeah,
actually has a strong
they
voice.
do.
So they're not going to stray far.
And they change things around. I mean, you know who originally invented Ultron? They're not gonna go with that storyline anymore. You know what I mean? For sure, they're not gonna go with their direction.
You're talking about
No,
Dr.
but
Pym?
again, yeah, it was Hank Pym who created Ultron, which I'm surprised they went that way. But yeah, I'm just saying that, yeah, you're right. They could do that, but usually they don't go that dramatic. Because again, I mean, they go with the Red Hulk. You kind of have to see who is it, who's all this, and then the different people that are in it. Kind of like first who's who and all that, which I was kind of really don't see it as necessary. Like, who is the Red Hulk?
Hmm.
That's kind of what they did at first, remember, especially in the
Yeah.
cartoons.
Well,
Yeah, in the
and
cartoons.
it worked good because you didn't know. You know, for the comic book arc, it was great. You know, for a movie arc, you're right. No, it's not going to work. But for the comic book arc, it worked great. I mean, there was a big mystery. Who was he? You know, now that
Although I
everybody,
tell you,
yeah,
I would love to see the Gray Hulk. I
Ooh.
would love to see that struggle, the mental struggle that Bruce Banner is having. Well, back in the 90s where they had the Green Hulk and the Gray Hulk were fighting it out. And whenever Bruce Banner transformed, you never knew which version of the Hulk was coming. And the Green Hulk was the Hulk that we all know is the savage, green, mean guy. And the Gray Hulk, remember, was more intelligent,
Hmm.
still brutal, but, he talked a lot more.
Yeah.
go fix
I kind of
it,
want to
dude.
see that before I
Even
get
in
to the
Hulk,
Red Hulk. Sorry, what?
yeah, he was a Joe Fixit, man. He was a Vegas enforcer.
Yeah, but I kind of want to see those storylines go in the movie. I kind of want to see the Hulk go through some stuff because people keep talking about Winter Soldier, and they say, "Oh, I would love to see Bucky as Captain America," and that may happen in Part 3 if Chris Evans has his way and he plans to retire from film and all that. That might be a progression,
Yeah,
but
because yeah, that would be probably the best part for that. I mean, come on, it
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
but that kind of raises a good point. I mean, Captain America skipped way ahead with the Winter Soldier. Okay, but I mean, there was so many things that happened. You know, between him waking up and Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? And they skipped ahead with that. It makes perfect sense they skip ahead here too. We'll see. I don't know. We really don't know. I mean, we're just speculating.
yeah, of course that's all what we're doing here. But we have to see where our characters go, and my point is, I want to see the Hulk transform. I want to see this character go from one place to the next. Everybody else has changed a little bit,
Evolve.
and
I
that's
think
why,
it's like
yeah,
all
they've
of us.
evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to point out, like before we discussed with the Black Widow, that we said, oh, the Black Widow, even though she's appeared in 2 movies, that she wouldn't stand on her own movie. And now after the Winter Soldier, we kind of see a third movie. We kind of see her in her own movie now.
Hmm.
So I would like to see progression with these characters. I mean, Hawkeye, I really don't see much in him unless he's going to have a bigger role in this. And Iron Man, well, we're not going to see any Iron Man soon unless they get
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. to sign on for more movies.
You know who I
Or they
want
name
to
a... Who?
You know who I want to see, and we haven't seen her at all anywhere. And I don't know how would they bring her up, but I want to see Amora. You know, the Enchantress. I want to see her make a
Mm.
presence somewhere. That would be cool. She is an intriguing character, man. Think about it.
No, we're talking about Thor one?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. There's been a lot of. I mean, we saw it in the animated series. Amora controlling the Hulk. That would be interesting. Just that.
Well, there's speculation that she is going to be in Thor 3.
Ooh, hey, that'd be cool.
That makes a
Yeah,
lot of
so,
sense too, because you know what? Loki's not, it's going to be somewhere else. Loki's going to be pulling the strings. Gamora is going to be one of his, I guess, one of his henchmen. Because he kind of uses her, but she still has her own things that she wants to do. I mean, that's
yeah,
Gamora for you.
that's
As
what I
long as
liked about her because she worked with Loki, but she always had her own agenda. You guys remember that? She
yeah,
Hmm.
always had her own agenda, and that's great. I hope to see her in the third one because
yeah.
I'm kind of burning out on Loki here.
As long as I have a scene with Amora and Lady Sif going at it, I'll be happy. That's all I really need.
Go. What do you mean by going at it? Fighting
Yeah,
or?
please describe it for our
Combat,
fans.
fighting, I know what I mean. I'm sure our fans won't read that. Because
Actually, they might.
if you if you read the comics and you see you see the animated features and stuff, they hate each other. So it'd be
Oh
interesting to
God,
see that
yes, they do
kind of
not
going
like
on.
each other at all.
All right, a couple of things. Moving on, a couple switching topics here. Uh, if you've seen the new entertainment magazine, it's on our Facebook page. They actually showed the first pictures of Mad Max. Mad
Yeah.
Max is coming back with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. Which I just want to share my first thoughts because I still remember the Mel Gibson movies and all that.
Mhm.
And why is everybody so clean in this movie?
Yeah, where are my football pads? Where are the ugly cars, cut up cars made into like doom buggies and stuff like that. Where is that?
Well, it really didn't. It evolved to that. Remember, the first movie was like that. They were clean cut, man. They were wearing good.
That's the only thing I remember, man. That's the only thing.
What was the
Well,
first movie called? Was it called Mad Max? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it was Mad Max.
Right, it was just Mad Max, and the second one was called Road Warrior, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you got to remember, yeah, there were two movies,
No,
and
three.
actually three movies. You got the Beyond the Thunderdome, that was the last one. You got Road Warrior, and Mad Max. Mad Max, the first one, they're very clean. In fact, he was a cop in the beginning,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he was a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cop, and basically it was very clean and everything. And then it just progressed. Everything got worse in each movie. In the second one, Road Warrior. I mean, no, not Road Warrior. What was it?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The second one was Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warrior. Um, then the second one, people started dressing up with football padding, because apparently that was the best armor around. I mean, you couldn't get any better than you going to the sporting goods store and picking up some football padding and putting some stuff on it, and also putting feathers. Apparently,
Hey, dude.
feathers help
I'm
with it.
still remember that creepy guy with the doll behind his head and the stick.
Yeah, that was disturbing, very disturbing. But you know what? That was Road Warrior. Come on.
You remember the little kid with the boomerang?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think I read he became a lawyer. That tripped me out when I read it. I was like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some things just take you by surprise. Like, it's hard to connect the two pictures, because I
Well,
always see him as a little kid with the boomerang.
it was always hard interpreting those movies because you're right. In the first Mad Max, he's like a cop, and you really don't quite get that it's a post-apocalyptic future with nuclear war and all that. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought that's how Australia was, man. I mean,
Yeah, me too. You're right. Yeah, me too. Exactly. Oh, that's so
Uh,
true. Yeah, you're right.
you know what? That's not what I thought. I thought that was what Detroit was, man. Uh,
no, that's a joke. Like, don't make fun of people in Detroit. They're living at Mad Max times now.
oh
Oh, we're gonna get angry letters.
oh yeah. Oh well.
I'm sure Detroit's a lovely city, but the I'm just looking at it and I'm kind of like, okay, just Tom Hardy looks too clean, for just too neat. For at least Mel Gibson looked rugged and he looked trashed. You're right. From the first movie to the third movie, he got progressively worse looking.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be, man. That is the way it is.
So I got a question. This movie, reboot, not sequel, what is it?
I think it's a reboot.
Well, then they're going to have to start out clean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I have to actually see what they have. I mean, they need to see what's going on, see if this is at the beginning of the post-apocalyptic, turnstile of events, or is this a sequel where they're supposed to look even worse? I mean, less technology, more bones and arrows, stuff like that. Dogs and cats living together kind of thing.
Well, I was gonna say, can we do a sequel to this? I mean, How long is it before we had the last Mel Gibson Mad Max movie? It's been like
Oh
what over?
God,
It's been over 30 years, I
30
think.
years.
Yeah,
We
it's been
don't need another hero. Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, that was a good song.
No, I think it
You,
was in the 80s, dude. Where yeah,
yeah, it
it
was
was
in
in
the
the.
80s.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, this movie's gonna be for the new generation. Honestly, that's what it is. Because we grew up with Mad Max, we know of Mad Max. I don't think the new generation really knows about Mad Max. All they know about Mel Gibson is he yells at people a lot. That's about it.
Oh my God.
You
Well,
know, that,
really, I thought he just had anger management issues.
I
Yeah.
know, dude, and that's kind of the thing. I hate this. I say it that he's still one of my favorite actors, but I'm not gonna hang out with him. You know, I'm going to Hollywood soon, and if I run into Mel Gibson, um, I'm kind of going to cross the street and walk the other way. but but man, Braveheart is still one of my favorite movies. So
Oh yeah. He gets vivisected in that movie, yeah.
yeah. But in this one, I guess they have to retell the story because you're right. It's been too long, and I guess Charlize Theron is either going to be the villain
Really?
or
She
the
might be
good
the
guy.
white.
I don't know.
You,
Who knows? I don't know.
Well, because I keep thinking, now like it's in like I said, I still keep thinking that's how Australia is. It wasn't until I saw the Crocodile Hunter that, oh, that's how Crocodile Dundee, where, oh, that's how Australia is.
That's
I
the
better,
outback.
I better stop before somebody else gets an idea for a reboot.
Oh God, Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile
No.
Dundee.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
liked it
I don't
so
want a
much. I don't
reboot.
want a reboot of it, man.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I have to agree with you. Yeah, no reason.
Paul Hogan is a national treasure. Let's just leave it at that.
You know what? He's the only one that can say, let's put a shrimp on the Barbie and actually look like he means it, man.
Okay.
I saw
And
that movie with Steve Marin.
Cheech
we're
money.
still on the topic here of reboots. It was announced, I guess. I think it was. Is it Paramount Studios? I forget who owns the Predator movies. Or 20th Century Fox. Sorry, it's 20th Century Fox. And Shane Black, who is a known writer and director, and well, he has a role in here too, which I guess you guys can bring up later. But the news is Shane Black officially announced that he is writing and directing a brand new Predator. Now, at first, everybody said that it was a Predator reboot, and I guess they were going to reboot the one from the late 80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that. But then almost immediately, Shane Black himself got on the web and all that, and he said, no, it's not a reboot, ladies and gentlemen. It's a full-fledged sequel to all the Predator movies that's been out there.
Yeah, they had the latest one not too long ago. Remember Predators with Adrian Brody? So for
I don't
And I
remember
keep
that.
thinking, I'm trying to forget that one. But I keep thinking, what happened with that one? Because it was directed by Robert Rodriguez, who is a violent director. I mean, he knows action. And, well, Adrian Brody as a military guy, come on.
Yeah, my thoughts are on that. They just wanted to stick as many predators in there as possible, and that got in the way. Just like Aliens was about a lot of aliens, not just one alien. Now you got thousands of aliens coming at you. Well, they wanted to put as many predators in there, and really, what Predator was about is one hunter hunting people. That's it. I mean, that's when you get down to Predator. He's deadly because he can do it by itself. He is up there with Boba Fett, if you ask me.
hey, good reference.
Now, the thing I found interesting about Shane Black, for our audience members who don't know, he is a noted director. He's done a lot of great action movies. I know that. And he's written a lot of good action movies that he's gotten a lot of credit for. But also, he was in the first Predator movie. He was Hawkins or Hawks. He was the soldier who spoke Spanish with the glasses and all that. He ended up dying real bad. I don't know. Was he the first guy that died?
Yeah, he was the first guy that died. He got skinned.
Yeah. But he was in the Predator movie. Surprisingly, again, him and the other guy. I think it was Shane. No, no. Oh, I forgot the other guy too. He wasn't an actor. He was also a director and writer too. He was the black guy who was like, anytime. I was like, I see you.
I'm
You
gonna
do
get
that
me
small. Don't do that
get me
again.
some. Yeah, that guy. I'm gonna get me some. I'm gonna get me some. Oh, baby, I'm gonna get me some. Yeah, I remember that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, great performance and all that. But again, he wasn't an actor, dude. He was a writer and director who just
Really?
did that. Yeah, he just did that movie too, just like Shane Black. You know?
You know
You
what?
have
He's
to
really
wonder,
good.
how did that conversation work? Hey, you want to go to the jungle? Hey, I'm not doing anything. Let's go.
You know, the one scene that that I really loved, and it was the director you're talking about, the black guy. He had the razor blade against his face, and he was just pushing it against his face, pushing it and pushing it, and then finally it broke, and you just see a little line of blood, but that's about it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and Run. The first one I have to say is a classic.
Oh God.
I declare that one of Schwarzenegger's best films.
Yes.
Or if they ask me, to name a definitive Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, of course people would say Terminator, but number 2 for me would be Predator.
Yeah, and I have to admit, when I first walked into the theater to go see Predator, I had no idea what kind of movie it was. I'm like, okay, what's Predator? And so I start watching it with my family, and I thought, oh, this is a war flick. All right, war, okay. And then you see the alien point of view, and I'm like, holy crap, what is this? And then I
And I,
got to the end of the movie. I was like, oh my God, cool.
yeah, and same thing. I mean, people who were there, I mean, we were at the right age and all that. We went to
Yeah.
see it because of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah.
At the time, he was like the biggest movie star in the world. And hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I knew it was like, I mean, we didn't know. It was like some invisible. I didn't know it was aliens. I thought it was like a monster or something.
Hmm.
But I gotta say, I was blown away by it as a kid. I was like, wow, this is an amazing movie.
I have a question. With this sequel and stuff, are they getting Jean-Claude Van Damme back? Really?
Oh my lord. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen this, you can go on YouTube and look up Predator. And they actually released the footage. And it was a trivia thing. Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally hired to be the Predator. And it wasn't good, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine this. This is my impression of Jean-Claude Van Damme as the Predator.
It was.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah, you're right.
Well, for one, I gotta side a little bit with Jean-Claude Van Damme on that because he left the project because he went to the jungles. He was still an up-and-comer. His star was rising, and he thought he was going to be equal billing. He was going to say Schwarzenegger, Van Damme. Schwarzenegger was going to be the hero. He was going to be the bad guy. And he goes to the jungle, and he's in the jungle, and they give him a pink suit.
Actually, I think it was orange.
Yeah, an orange, a pink suit, either which way, he's handed that, and he's kind of like, what? And they were like, okay, and we're going to have you run around in the jungle. And they did. I mean, that was the invisible scenes. The invisible scenes with the Predator running around, a lot of them was him. They still kept that footage, and they try to explain to him, well, you're wearing this orange suit because it's good. You're going to be invisible, and with CGI effects, and so then he's like, wait a minute, nobody's going to see me. Well, yeah, they're going to see you here. It's like a weird looking bug costume, remember?
It looked awful. It looked like it had backward, appendages. The legs were like the chicken walk looking things with like a grasshopper, like this, sort of like that. It looked horrifying on paper, but when you got right down to it, it looked bad. It looked awful.
Well, let's clarify something. It looks It looks not horribly like scary, horribly funny is what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, you got a point
Um,
right there.
I
And I
mean,
have
when
to say,
Predator would kill you out of laughter, after you
but I have to give props. It was a blessing that Jean-Claude Van Damme quit. After shooting it for a couple of days, being in the jungle in Mexico and all that, he said, I quit. He went back to Belgium. The directors and producer all that realized, yeah, we got to redo this. And that's where they got Stan Winston to help them design the costume. They got the actor, I forgot his name, but he was a really
Really
tall,
tall.
his
tall
name
actor.
is Science. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but he was very talented. He passed away. I know he did.
He was like
But still,
eight
he was,
foot.
yeah, he was talented and he was amazing as a Predator. And thank the Lord they made that guy. And we had that Predator, that movie. That movie was awesome. Part two with Danny Glover, I liked. I thought it was really cool changing the setting to
Urban.
futuristic LA.
I kind of, I think I have the same problem with it that people had with 300. You know what I mean? You were expecting it to be something else, and then they threw it in the middle of LA. Because when I saw Predator 2, I thought it was going to continue with Arnold. You know what I mean? That's kind of what my thought was. Oh, Arnold is going to be in this one, and it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong, but it was just the idea that it has nothing to do with the first one. That kind of
Well,
threw
you
me out a
you are
little bit.
half right. You are half right. Because they originally wrote the script with Arnold Schwarzenegger in mind, and the idea was that the Predator is back in LA, and they get Arnold Schwarzenegger to go chase the Predator again. That was the basic premise for the sequel. But of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger became a huge mega star at that point with Terminator 2 and all that.
Wanted
And,
more money.
he wasn't going, he got too big for that movie, so they weren't going to get him. And so they did the rewrites and all that. And that's why um, they got Danny
Danny Glover.
Glover and Maria Conchita Alonso was in the movie. She was going to play the Guatemalan or the
Yeah,
South American girl
yeah.
because the other girl wasn't going to come back for the sequel. So she was going to play the character again, but they recasted her and all that. So that's how that movie worked out. Which you kind of see it, if you look at it, it kind of
Makes sense.
goes with, yeah. And then the Alien versus Predator, I thought was good.
Mm.
The first
Well,
one I thought was good.
well, here's the thing. The second movie was very important for Predator and Aliens because it set up the lore that predators had been here for centuries. They come back ever so often to go ahead and hunt because it's a sport to them. And, it's maybe a ritual to them that they have to go ahead and go in and hunt. And then basically you tied it in with the Alien franchise when you saw the skull of the alien right there on the wall. I'm like, holy crap, that's an alien skull. What the heck is that doing there?
And that was a great Easter egg, and that started it all.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't want to talk about the sequel to that Predator versus
Yeah.
Aliens one, the Requiem. That was bad.
Yeah.
And then we saw Predators, which what happened?
I don't know what happened. Somebody had a lobotomy or something and just went down from there. I mean, this is something that some kid was going to flush it down the toilet and, they saved it somehow. I don't know why.
No, I had low expectations when it came out. I didn't think it was going to be good, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, hey, it isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. That was my interpretation, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it was.
It's still
you know,
bad.
and
Well, yeah,
what?
I'm not saying it's good, but, it could have been way worse.
Yeah, it could have been. And you know what? I'm wondering something. I'm wondering if they're going to try to tie in the new, the new prequels for Aliens or Alien with Predators. Whether they're going to get them in there, where they're going to explain, why the Predators have been hunting aliens for like centuries, apparently. But now the whole thing is kind of jumbled up. The whole how do you say it? I forgot.
Mythology?
Yeah, the whole mythology of it's kind of mixed up because now, humans in the future are finding the aliens and, kind of creating them. And, these aliens have been here since before, time.
Well, we
According to
can
history.
all slap Ridley Scott in the face
Oh, yeah.
for Prometheus, but
Yeah.
oh man, I mean, I have no idea how you would fix that jumbled mess.
Yeah, it's almost as bad. Maybe they can go ahead and change it with time machines and sort of like with like the stuff with having go back in time, put an alien back there, and that's where they kind of start.
Uh, I'm walking out of that. All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of things. If you're in the local El Paso area and all that, the Las Cruces Comic Con is coming up, and it's something to look forward to. For more information on the Las Cruces Comic Con, you can look up their websites and look up their Facebook page. Guest announcement that they recently made. Jason Ibarra is coming to the Las Cruces. He is
Yay!
a nationally recognized stuntman. He's done tons of stuntman movies and all that. I love talking to stuntmen. They have the coolest stories. He's like, yeah, I got blown up on the set. He will be bringing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle van to
Then
the convention.
is this the new
Yeah.
one?
No, he has the classic one.
Okay,
He's gonna
good,
be
because I like
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, so we can all take a picture with it. And also, in case people missed it, he was Babu in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
With the wings and all.
Yeah, no, he was
Don't
the.
say that, 'cause, I want to see
How
that.
do I describe Babu?
Blue monkey guy looking guy that was a prissy that had no. Hey, here I have the perfect
He had a
analogy for him.
monocle, right? Yeah, he had the
Yeah.
monocle.
Basically, if you took Mr. Peanut and a baboon, a blue baboon, and stuck them together, you had Babu.
Yeah.
That actually works.
Yeah, but he still does stunt movies and all that. So again, he's going to be an interesting guy to talk to. It's coming up, and again, Las Cruces Comic Con, and also on conventions. Kelly will be at the this weekend at the New Jersey Toy Con. Toy Con New Jersey. You can look that up. Our information's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoec, and look up the New Jersey Toy Con. Tons of guests and all that. Kelly will be giving us a report on that convention. But of course, the big convention coming up is San Diego Comic Con. We are about 3 weeks away from that. And once again, I'm not going.
It is so hard to get tickets. I mean, you have to basically be on for an entire week. You need to be on the computer, clicking away an entire time, waiting for that moment. And then once you get in, you go ahead and click, have your credit card information ready, have everything ready, everything lock, stock, and barrel, and boom, get it. I mean, that's the only way you get in there.
I tried getting tickets this year. And, I got on the link. I went to the waiting room. And like half an hour, I saw the thing sold out.
Sheesh.
And I was like, oh, man, I've kind of given up on that dream of going. But, there's other great conventions to go to, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yes, San Diego Comic-Con is the Mecca. It is nerd Mecca, of going.
Well, if you ask me, it's no longer what it used to be. I mean,
yeah,
it's become
right.
too commercial. And, for you to be able to go ahead and get a true Comic-Con fan experience, you have to go to another con. WizardCon. Even our local cons are getting up there.
WonderCon.
Yeah, the WonderCon in Anaheim, I hear, is fantastic, and it has always top class guests there. Stan Lee is always there. That's his con. And Wizard Con, they do the tours. We have their tour page right now on our Facebook page. So again, there's great alternatives to go meet people. I mean, I know Matt Smith and Carrie Gillian they have a deal with the WizardCon people because they're all over that place, and tons of Whovians are meeting them and all that. And I'm looking forward to getting there on some of them. Already making plans to go to some of those conventions. So again, you're right. You're right, Orly. There's tons of great conventions to go to. But if you can go to San Diego Comic-Con, good luck. You go to it, enjoy it.
Yeah. If you want to
Kelly,
if you want to give us your tickets, go ahead.
yeah,
We'll take them. No questions.
I will go last minute to San Diego Comic-Con if I can. But also, again, Kelly will be there, and we will have a live show Thursday, and she will cover everything on San Diego Comic-Con. So Kelly will be our correspondent. She will be there live and keep feeding our nerd page, nerdsonthecouch.com, all the news you need to know for San Diego Comic-Con. Also, a couple of things that are happening that we've confirmed. Ben Affleck Ben Affleck and also Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and possibly the other actors are going to be at San Diego Comic-Con to promote Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
And we will see footage.
Actual footage. And I mean, you'll even get to see the actual armor for Wonder Woman, which is what I'm wondering about and wondering how she's going to look.
Well, people have seen the costume, but nobody's taken a picture yet. So that's been the drawback. But everybody's saying that it's a 52 version. She's not in pants. She's like in a skirt. And when you see her, you know it's Wonder Woman.
I wonder who's going to have the jacket. I would keep picturing the jacket for some reason. We'll see.
The jacket?
They said they didn't say this great. They said no jacket. They said that she has like the Roman Greek, Wonder Woman costume. She's in the 52 costume, and she's going to have a sword and shield, the sword in her back.
Hmm. You know what? Yeah, and that will be a good look. I mean, it's a fantastic costume if they do it that way. Hopefully she's in it for most of the movie rather than only part of the movie, because we've seen that before. And other renditions, they suit up all of a sudden, that sort of thing.
We speculated that maybe this movie was going to be Batman and Superman heavy. And, we were under the assumption this was probably going to be a Superman movie. We were way off. It isn't. The Superman sequel is going to be something else. So
that's what they said at first, remember?
Yep. Yeah, that's the assumption we all had, that it was going to be the Superman sequel. We were wrong. It's not. So who knows? It opens it up to see how many more things they could put in. I don't know.
And the only thing that happens if you put too many things in a movie, you can ruin it very easily. Especially if you try to put in too many storylines. In this case, there might be too many characters all of a sudden. I mean, look at Avengers. You had the introductions for all these other characters already. I mean, you already had the introduction for Captain America. You already had the introduction for Iron Man, the Hulk. Let's see, Thor. All those characters already had their introductions. Now you're going to have to introduce all these characters without any of their introductory movies, without anything going ahead and featuring, well, this is their origin story. This is how they came about. This is what they're doing. Why they're doing it. This is their thoughts. We already saw that with the Avengers.
Actually, I think DC is kind of doing the smart. Well, they're not following Marvel, which is good because I want to see something different. But I think they're doing it backwards. I think they're going to give you hints of the characters, then you're going to see the movies behind them. You know what I mean? Which I think is an interesting strategy. I don't know if it'll pan out, but it's interesting. They whet your appetite with the character, and then they're going to, but if you want to see more of them, you have to see the next movies.
Well, we got the list, remember, last week where we discussed it about Marvel, the DC movies that they have in the lineups, and Shazam is there, Wonder Woman is now in there, and they were going to do a Green Lantern Flash buddy movie.
Yeah.
But Aquaman was not on that roster. They said Man of Steel 2, and they said now that a Batman movie is kind of far out there for it because they're not really going to do a Batman solo movie. Batman's going to be possibly in some of the other movies and the Justice League movie. But if I'm to believe Kevin Smith, he said that the way these movies are shaping up is that it's all part of one big storyline, like comic book issues. So Batman and Superman is issue 1.
Yeah.
And then the next one, which they already announced, is Justice League. They're going to go straight on through and shoot Justice League, which is issue 2.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And you know what? I'm actually wrong on a little bit, because they are having kind of introductory movies, but it's in TV shows. Like you got Arrow and also The Flash.
And that TV show, again, is looking forward to. And they haven't said, they kind of play around with it, saying that it's part of the DC universe. It's partly not. I don't know. I'll believe it when you see Green Arrow and like they mention Superman or something like that.
You got a point.
But Flash is coming, so the door's open now. And then also for Marvel movies, they said that the Avengers cast, the entire Avengers cast, will be going to San Diego Comic-Con. We are going to see footage of Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. They're hoping to announce who Doctor Strange is going to be.
Okay.
I know Benedict Cumberbatch is like the popular choice, but Benedict Cumberbatch is like the popular choice for everything right now.
Yeah.
He would be good. I'm not going to deny him, but I do like Jared Leto so far for the lead.
I know you mention him all the time.
Well, he's my vote. You keep mentioning Benedict Cumberbatch, so I beat you to the punch.
Well, what about Nathan Fillion? We know that he's already a Marvel character, but we don't know which one. So what happens if they put him as Doctor Strange?
No.
He's already confirmed, like you said, he's already confirmed that he's in Guardians of the Galaxy for a cameo. The speculation on that is crazy. Okay, I've heard that he's Nova. I heard that he's going to be Star-Lord's dad. And the one which I'm praying to God, oh God, no, please, no, don't. He's the voice of Howard the Duck.
Oh my God! Oh no! No! Say it ain't so! Say it ain't so!
It's not gonna happen, but that'd be cool.
Yeah,
no, Howard the Duck is in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but no, I doubt it. It's kind of obscure, dude. Only very few people know Howard the Duck. We're nerds. We know about it, obviously, but I don't know if anybody else remembers Howard the Duck. Hey,
dude, there's a talking squirrel in. I mean, there's a talking raccoon.
Raccoon. Rocket raccoon.
Call that.
There's a talking raccoon, so why not a talking duck?
Oh my God! If Nathan Fillion does that, he better play that character to the hilt, because you know what? He would steal the show in almost any guise, and if he played that, oh my God, it would be. I would laugh my ass off, but at the same time be like, no, say it ain't so, Nathan. Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
Well, we might be overthinking this. For all we know, he's gonna play a space cowboy. I mean, that would totally make sense. So,
Yeah.
My God.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, dude.
Well, I was going to mention, he was up for the role of Green Lantern 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, they were going to do a Green Lantern movie, and his name was in the hat to do it, and he discusses it. He said he would have loved to have been Green Lantern. He would have loved to been in it and all that, and now, he admits now he's too old for it. So, at his age, as much as we love him and all that, time kind of has gone by.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. Do you think he can actually play a character as Nova? Playing Nova. Do you think he can do it?
He
It
can be
definitely,
the old Nova.
yeah.
Hmm.
It would depend. I mean, if it's it's in an older Guardian because Nova isn't just a superhero. He's a part of alien race. You know what I mean? The alien race
Hmm.
is Nova. He is a superhero on Earth, but the Nova League is a little like the Green Lantern, sort of. They're a base kind of military army thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, then yeah, I can see that
He's
now.
old Nova.
Yeah, it could work, but again, we have to see. Star Lord's dead. Yeah, that would kind of make sense, but it's a little too vanilla.
Yeah, you know what? That's making him into a human. I mean,
Yeah, so we're kind of hoping for something cool to see it, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in a plotting. Stan Lee is in it, even though he admits that that's not really anything with him, but he did the cameo just to do it. So again, we'll applaud Stan Lee in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you look at the movie, you get the vibe that it's not a friendly world. You know what I mean? It's not a happy, cuddly world. It looks like a kind of
Yeah.
violent world. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of the character I'm looking forward to seeing somebody violent, living feeling of being somebody, and he plays that well. I mean, if you've seen Firefly, he's not shy about the violence at all.
no, he
So
isn't.
we'll
I
see.
mean, one of his things he says: if someone tries to kill you, you kill him right back.
You kill him right back. Following along the Marvel news, they did release news that Rosario Dawson was going to be joining the Netflix Daredevil series, which I still don't know when that's coming out. And yeah, that's an interesting choice. I mean, the news that I'm getting with the whole Daredevil thing is that it looks like it's gonna be an origin story. You know what I mean? They cited for 13 episodes, and it looks like it's gonna be the evolution of Matt Murdock becoming Daredevil. That's the way it kind of looks like. And for some reason, Rosario Dawson's gonna play a pivotal role in it. I don't know.
Probably the love interest.
Yeah,
Hey,
Daredevil needs his women.
if she could play Typhoid Mary, that would be cool, man. I would love to see her as Typhoid
Yeah.
Mary.
I don't think they haven't. She's not going to be Elektra.
No,
Oh no,
But,
no, you
no.
can't.
no.
A character like Elektra being played by her, no way.
Yeah, she's not quite it for that part.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is starting to shape up pretty nice. They said that Daredevil is part of the Marvel universe.
Hmm.
They're not hiding it. They said it is. Agent Coulson, uh, was it Clark Gregg, kind of hinted, or he kind of said that, oh, I would like to come out as a guest spot on it. So he said it with a wink. So you might see Agent Coulson on Daredevil for a cameo or a special guest spot or something.
Hey,
But Netflix does things really good because they lay everything out for you. You don't have to wait. You can binge watch the entire season of Daredevil when it comes out in one sitting.
we were talking about the actress that comes out in the middle, Eden Shear, her name is, I
Yeah.
believe. I might be mangling. We were talking about characters. Could you see her as Elektra?
No. No.
Here's the thing. I mean, Elektra is such a specialized character. You got to look for somebody that really fits her in every way.
Well, Donna, here's my take on her. Is that Elektra herself? She has to be exotic.
Hmm.
She really need. I really need to get like an exotic looking woman. She is from Europe. She is Greek. So, I mean, I would pursue somebody with that background and all that to be Elektra. But again, I need somebody with exotic looks.
Yeah.
Watching that actress from the middle, I've seen her in real, in the TV show, she kind of plays down and the way she dresses and all that, like a dorky teenager. That's, when you see her in real life, like at the, in the pictures and all that,
Yeah.
she is really a beautiful woman and she is fit. So I still lean towards seeing her as Miss Marvel.
Hmm.
But yeah, I got to get somebody exotic to be Elektra. Nobody, just a regular, plain Jane blonde woman isn't going to fit the bill with me.
Yeah, and plus she's got to have other qualities. The overall look needs to be there. You know what I mean?
Jennifer
Because
Gardner fell short.
to say the least. But
Yeah, I would agree. She was a good Electra for Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I think yeah, for that it worked.
well, you got to remember, look how much Electra cosplay is out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it, and there's been a lot of them that really do fit the actual look in every way. Not too big, not too small, just right. Let's just go with Goldilocks here. But you got to look for those certain looks, and you're absolutely right. Has to be exotic, has to have a certain look. Quality of the character, being able to go ahead and express the quality of the character, that's so hard to find.
That raises an interesting question. I mean, what is the Daredevil costume going to look like now? You know what I mean? We're getting into that area of the look. Do you think they'll be able to pull off a better look for Daredevil in this Netflix series as opposed to the movie? I hope so. They had a good.
I know you hate Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
No, I actually like the director's cut. It was good. I just don't like his action scenes.
You kind of made it obvious. There's footage of you saying, "I hate Daredevil."
No, the Daredevil director's cut was okay, but his action scenes suck. It just is. He sucks on action scenes.
Well, that I blame the director. I blame the director for that, because most of the time it's not actually the actor. It's it's a stunt, double or something. Who does action scenes.
I disagree with you, man. I mean, there's that scene where he fights in the bar and he's so stiff. You know what I mean? And again, I give him credit. He tried. He did the best he could. He's just, I don't really see him being very physical. You know what I mean? I just really, the scenes they were okay, but they weren't. I mean, if you compare him to Matt Damon in action scenes, when Matt Damon does action scenes, he seems so natural. You know what I mean? And with Ben Affleck, it looks like he struggles to do action scenes. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Well, like I said, I liked the Daredevil movie, but when you say the costume, it is a mixed bag for me, because that's the one thing. Looking back on it, when I looked back on the Daredevil, and I saw it like a month ago, I had to say my opinion for the costume changed. I didn't mind it at first, and I think it was okay for the times, but the costume back for that movie sucked. I mean, he really needed something else.
Was it the coloring or the way?
Well, not the coloring. It has to be red. I mean, that's kind of his thing, the red. But I just didn't like how it looked like an S&M outfit.
Okay, so you need something that looks more like the comic book, where bulging muscles and.
Well, you know what? They had a comic book where Daredevil was a ninja. He was part of the Hand. It was one of those what if issues. The costume they used there was great. You know what I mean? If we saw something like that in the series, it would be interesting. You know what I mean? I hope there is some element of the Hand and the ninja and the mysticism and stuff, because that was cool. That's one of my favorite things I liked about Daredevil's world. They
for a TV show, sky's the limit, man. Yeah, the show is probably going to get a second season. There's no reason why you can't have Bullseye in there. You can't have Elektra. You can't have all these other villains walk on through. Man, you could even have Loki walk on through, I guess. Why not? Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, as long as we don't have the Abomination and Daredevil, we're gonna be okay. That's a really short-lived series right there. Oh, it's the Abomination. Where's Daredevil? Yeah, man without fear, my whatever.
Well, our last topic, because time's running out on us. This week was the 25th anniversary of Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, starring Michael Keaton as Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And acknowledging this movie, I wanted us to do a little look back on this, because to me, this was the movie that set everything off. if we didn't have this movie, we wouldn't have gotten Spider-Man, we wouldn't have gotten X-Men, we wouldn't have gotten all the movies we have today. I have to give this movie its due credit because this is the movie to me that set the superhero genre.
Yeah, and this also broke some molds. I mean, some old ways that I used to think. I mean, before I saw this movie, my involvement with Batman was only Adam West and also the Super Friends on TV. And I thought, oh, I'm supposed to see bang, boom, zoop, and all that stuff in the movie, and I thought it was going to be really comic booky. But no, this movie had its darkness. It had its way of doing things. Yes, it had its dark comedy. It had everything Tim Burton was. And, the quintessential Batman and how he should act came from this. Yes, it was Keaton, Michael Keaton, who I thought, oh my God, he's a comedy guy. I've seen him in Mr. Mom, Gung Ho, all those movies, and now I'm gonna see him as Batman. I don't know about that. And then he came out and he was fantastic. He was great.
I like what Renee said, and I give him props because I agree with him. He says that he said Michael Keaton did a great Bruce Wayne, which he did. I thought he was an excellent Bruce Wayne. He was a passable Batman. I mean, I think the thing that helped him with Batman is he didn't really speak, which was great. That kind of gave him more presence to him. He was very low key. He only spoke when he had to. And Joker for its time, Joker was a great pick. Jack Nicholson killed it. He was great as a Joker.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have to Prince's soundtrack. There's two songs that I really like in the soundtrack. He killed it too. So for all of that, it was great. For me, it was a great experience seeing the movie. The soundtrack worked for me for the most part, and the villain was great. And the toys, the wonderful toys, that was great too.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, for me, of course, Jack Nicholson nailed it. He, brilliant Joker. It was Heath Ledger who had to break that mold because
Yeah.
nobody wanted to touch Jack Nicholson's Joker. And the one thing too was the awesome Batmobile, where he was like, "Get in the car." What car? You see the car, and you're like, "That's a Batmobile."
Yeah, and I remember, seeing a little contest in Batmobile, get a ride in the Batmobile, all those things. I wanted that Batmobile. I wanted the Batmobile. And I was a kid.
I like the storyline behind it where, they could have done more with it, but what they did was great, and it highlighted the Joker's genius, where he tainted like certain materials if you took it, if it was makeup or shampoo or whatever, and you took it, you became hideously deformed like he was, you get the grin and, the pale skin and stuff, so, you had the anchors looking up decrepit and stuff, That was great.
Yeah.
That was great,
Well, the movie had its own style, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the devices. Everything kind of had like a retro look. But,
It was
that's
dark.
Yeah, I mean, dark really covers it. And even though the Joker was all colorful and all that, he was the darkest thing in that movie. And you're right, Michael Keaton. Well, the number one complaint people had, and I guess, they are right, is that there wasn't enough Batman. It was basically the Joker's movie. You know, but Michael Keaton really, as much as we say he's passable, he set the mold for Batman. I mean, he did the different voices for Batman, Bruce Wayne. He said the mood, he said how he should act, and I just love the darkness that he gave that role.
Yep. And, it was one of those things. I mean, remember the girl that he had that, he had deformed her face. She was the first one he had deformed. He's like, show her your face. And she shows her, and, the girl's all, Vicky Vale's all scared. And then, he's, talking about her, and she threw herself out the window. He talked about it. And then he put the mask on the mantelpiece, and then he just went ahead and broke it in one hit. I mean, he told the story as if he was telling a joke, and it was dark and it was really scary. I mean, this was a character that you were physically afraid of. You didn't know what he was going to do. You didn't know whether he was going to tell a joke or shoot you.
Yeah,
I always felt
unfortunately,
sorry for him. I was gonna say I always felt sorry for him because he said they actually pulled his face back
Hmm.
and they put like it was latex for the grin. He said that always hurt his face because they had wires pushing him back and it hurt. Heath Ledger, nothing. It was silicone plastered in.
Yeah.
He was fine. He was fine with it.
yeah, Orly mentioned that scene and that never made sense to me. And even now, years later, it still doesn't make sense to me. She took off her mask and she's supposed to be hideous, and she wasn't hideous to me at all. I was like, hey, cool,
Well, she
I
had
don't
that big ugly scar thing on her
I
side.
guess, but it didn't, it didn't really faze me. It still doesn't. I'm like, cool, She looks more interesting now.
Okay, ladies, if you want Chino's attention, come up to him with a huge, hideous scar.
Even then. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Go
Well,
ahead.
let's mention one more thing before we go. The Transformers. Let's just give our
Oh.
quick thoughts on that, and we'll call it a day, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Our last thing is Transformers is coming out this weekend, and so far, I mean, the movie looks better than the last one. you know, that's not saying much because the last one to me was just not good at all.
Awful.
Yeah, it just really wasn't good. But here, I have a little more hope for it. I don't want to say it's a reboot because it's not, but it looks like they're heading a new direction, new storyline. Alien invasion, big popcorn effects.
Witwicky is not in the film. Witwicky is not in the film. Thank God.
Plus, that is a plus. Shia LaBeouf is not in this movie.
No parents, no Witwicky. That's definitely a plus. But it looks like this one having enough said. Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur. Big plus.
Yeah, the Dinobots look awesome.
Yes.
I don't know. For me, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I kind of like movies where we're the bad guys. You know what I mean? We're the ones that are messing everything up, like Planet of the Apes. We're the bad guys in that movie. We are. You know what I mean? In this movie, you get the sense that too. Humanity's the bad guys. You know what I mean? Well, most of humanity is. You got your few redeeming people with redeeming qualities, but for the most part, we're the bad guys, and I like that idea in this movie too, that we're gonna be the bad guys.
Yeah,
It does look that way.
and also what I do like about the film, which is another plus, which I got from some of the trailers, is the fact that the humans are actually going to have weapons that can go on par with the alien invaders Transformers.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like somehow we overcame the Transformers. And they're either hiding, they're on the run, and now governments are trying to kill them. They think they don't need them. Obviously, alien invasion. The big alien, it's not Megatron, it's Galvatron. And
Did they get
people,
the voice?
I have no idea yet. I know Peter Cullen is back as Optimus Prime. I don't know who else is following. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it, which I'm surprised. And the other thing is, I guess they feel really good about it because they announced the next one already.
What the?
As long as I get the sound wave, sound wave effect, I'm happy. I like sound wave. I love the way he talks, man. I want to see more sound wave.
That was a plus, wasn't it? Because instead of a cassette, he was a communication satellite.
Yeah, that was a good.
And they had the original voice actor.
And that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, and they got the original voice actor who was like, Commander Megatron coming in. Well, you need the synthesizer for it, but
Yeah. If you can do it just like that, you deserve your own YouTube channel because that.
all right. Thank you for watching us, listening to us, and all that. You can catch the latest info on our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoac. You can also catch our latest posts, blogs, news on nerdsonacouch.com. We're going to be taking a break for a couple of weeks here because we're going off on vacation and there's conventions and all that. But we will be posting regularly on our Facebook page, and we will come back live. For San Diego Comic-Con. Kelly Edmonds and us, all of us, will be live. Not over there, but we will be live to cover any events that are happening for Thursday, initial opening night for Comic-Con. And also, we will be back to review that and Guardians of the Galaxy and all that. So until then, enjoy your summer. Have fun. We'll see you back in 3 weeks.
See ya.